Good morning, y'all. Happy Friday. What y'all thought? The rain was gonna stop me? I know you see today's vlog is in a different format. I'm not walking around with the selfie stick. I didn't bring the monopod today for a specific reason. I just wanted to say happy birthday to the giver of life, to my pop, to my guy right there. That's my ninja. We're here at this location for one reason, and one reason only. Dad, father, pop, you never let the rain stop you from working for me. You never let anything stop you from putting a plate of food on the table. You made sure every Christmas I had something under the tree, no matter what the circumstances were. You did everything you could in your power to make sure I was educated. I went to school and I had a roof over my head. And I appreciate you, man. That does not go unsolved. This location right here holds significant value to me. I remember being a little kid here, and we used to come on the weekends, and we used to wax the car at home. And after we would drive around the city to allow the wax to dry, we would come right here. And you and me would wax the car together. And that means a lot, my nigga, because you taught me a lot. This man you guys see standing here in front of you today wouldn't be here without that giver of life. I probably wouldn't even be in video production if it wasn't for that giver of life. Not just because he brought me into this world and he played a mother and a father figure. The very first camera I started shooting with was his camera. It was a 1985, roughly a 1983 to 85 Panasonic Omni movie, a VHS camera. Because of him, I got into video. By him allowing me to use that camera, I was able to start imagining and I was able to experiment in front of the camera. I haven't been in front of the camera like you see today in over 20 years. I was 10 years old and my father allowed me to use his camera. We didn't have a tripod at the time. You know what I used for a tripod? I used the ladder. I used about the 4th or 5th step on the ladder, and I used that as a tripod. Who knew a ladder and a VHS camera would get my career started? So because of you, Pop, I want to say thank you. We may not be as close as we once were, but you see this animal, you see this savage in front of you, you raised me, and I'm a piece of you. This animal is because of you, and I want to say thank you. When I was booked the first time, who bailed me out? You. When I was booked the second time, who bailed me out? Well, I bailed me out. But the third time I was booked, who was there to bail me out? 3 in the morning. Who paid bail? You. And I appreciate that. That's what a father does. No matter what happened to me, he was there for me. I hold that very dearly to my heart. So with that being said, I'm gonna focus today's vlog, not so much on video production, but on the relationship that me and my father once had when I was a child. Because like this place I hold very dearly to my heart, there's a variety of other places in the city of Philadelphia that turn on the light bulb when I think about my pop. So come on this journey with me today and let's take a little exploration down memory lane.
Yeah, I remember being a kid coming out here back in the day, probably 15, 20 years ago, and I remember us rollerblading. My pop taking me to rollerblade down here. Look how foggy it is.
This is where they host all the peer events, and I remember us going down the hill and him having a little bit of trouble getting down, but I was out. But yeah, we used to chill here a lot. This was the spot. I remember like it was yesterday, sunny days. And we used to hang out here before the Hayat was there. That was before that was even made. Even though he wasn't there step by step to walk me through life, a lot of the morals, a lot of the tradition, a lot of the obedience and discipline I have is from growing up in an environment that he raised me in. One thing my pop had was discipline. I'm telling you, my pop was the type of dude who would go to work, leave the house 8 a.m. and sometimes you wouldn't see him till 9, 10 p.m. at night. And he would do this just to make sure bills were paid and food was on the table. There wasn't a day that I don't remember waking up and my pop not having a tie and a shirt on. He had a specific scent, like a fragrance. Like I remember it was one fragrance that was like, oh, my pop going to work. If I smelled that fragrance every morning, I automatically knew he was on his way to work. He played a major role in why I know the city as well as I do also. Because you know how some kids had real tight boundaries and real, strict rules and they weren't allowed to go to certain neighborhoods. And, I had some friends that I grew up with that they weren't able to leave the block until they were 18. But on the other hand, he trusted me so much that at 9, 10, 11 years old, I was able to go anywhere I wanted. He wouldn't question me. He wouldn't ask me where I was going. I remember being 13 years old and getting on Greyhound to go to New York. Tell me how cool is that? What parent was cool enough to let their 13-year-old travel like that? Even my driving career, I started driving At 9 years old. Yeah, guys, believe it. My pop taught me how to drive when I was 9 years old. I remember being 9 years old, driving down American Street, operating the vehicle. I remember getting caught when I was like 13 years old, taking his car keys. He taught me how to drive at 9, right? But come 12, 13, 14 years old, I used to skirt off with his new cars. Crazy, right? I remember he caught me one time. He looked out the window and his car was gone and I was gone with it. But I guess those are the good old memories, right? But that never stopped him from playing his role. I remember being 13 years old and getting pulled over by the police for doing donuts and 360s in my neighborhood inside his vehicle that I took while he was at work. And I remember being scared out of this world. I thought he was gonna be mad, like horribly angry mad. And I remember the day that he came back to the block and I told him like Dad, like, yo, Dad, I got a ticket. Like, please don't be mad at me. And then it wasn't only a regular ticket, it was like a court date. So I thought he was gonna be furious. Like, you telling me a 13-year-old got his first ticket, got pulled over from taking a car, you know what I mean? Pulled over by police for driving illegally with no license. And I'm telling you, I thought I was gonna get a butt whooping. And no, he just looked at me with like a real calm, cool, collected look and was like, it's okay, we'll take care of it. I mean, it's true, I probably had to hear about it, you know, a few months later. But at the end of the day, he did what any father would do. He was there for his son, unconditionally, no matter what happened. Like even hooking up cars. Like I've hooked up my fair share of cars growing up and I used to be more into it when I was in my late teens, early 20s. Right now, I don't really care for hooking up cars, but even hooking up cars and doing sound systems and putting rims and tinting them out and hooking them up, I got that from him. Because I remember being a kid, he had a car that everybody loved. They used to pull him over and say, yo, you selling it? Yo, you selling it? Yo, it's nice. Yo, nice paint job. Yo, nice system. Yo, you selling it? And you know what he would say? No, I'm saving this for my son. And I would be sitting in the passenger seat like a little 6, 7-year-old boy. I remember it being like the early 90s, the mid to early 90s, and my pop having a classic Plymouth Duster. And I remember the police pulling him over, telling him that that was a nice car. When I was a kid, man, he supported me in anything I did. Like anything I did, he supported. When I wanted to design and do crazy custom painted shirts and start my own clothing line, he supported it. When I wanted to do bicycle tricks and ride pedal bikes every day, he supported it. When I wanted to ride dirt bikes, yeah, he wasn't too happy about it, but he supported it. It's true that throughout my teen years, I got distracted by life and I started prioritizing my life a bit differently. And there were days where I was spending more time with friends than family. And there were days that I was spending more time on the streets than at home. But at the end of the day, I always had a roof over my head. I guess that's where my professionalism comes from. He was prompt, scheduled, on time. I remember being 13, 14 years old and him getting me a job at one of the locations that he was managing, and I was working next to my pop, and I had to call my pop by his last name, you know? Mr. ... you know? And I was coming home saying, hey, Mr. ... how you doing? And he used to get frustrated, like, stop calling me that. Call me Dad. But we got memories, dog. He never gave me limitations. I remember there was some weekends he would give me 20 bucks and say, go, have fun. And as an 11-year-old, you get 20 bucks, you damn near have a heart attack. 20 bucks was a lot when you were 11. I remember when I was 11, he'd give me 20, 40 bucks, and I used to go all out. And I used to come back with all these little toys and all these little gadgets because my pop just wanted me to have a good time. Yeah, my pop was the type of dude that if he would take me out to get food, toys, or clothes, and I had a friend with me, he would bring my friend with me as well, and he would get them toys, food, a shirt or something. That's the type of person my pop was. My pop was the type of person that he took care of his nieces, his nephews, his brothers. You know what I mean? He has a heart of gold. That's where my compassion and my intelligence and my heart came from. This is the famous South Street. I used to come here a lot when I was a kid. I used to look forward to when me and my pop drove down here bumping music. That was life. Yeah, South Street ain't the same compared to when I used to come as a kid with my pop. It ain't the same, but it still holds the memories. That's one thing I used to look forward to as a kid, cruising around the city. Like, cruising around for me was life. It was like a form of getaway. It was an escape. Sitting in the passenger side of my pop's car, it was an escape. It was like hanging out with my hero. Like, invincible. Ain't nobody could touch me, you know what I mean? Because I was with my pop. And if you're a young man or you're a young woman and you've had a parent's influence in your life where, you know, when you were around your parent, you feel like you're around a superhero, that's the exact same thing I was feeling. My crazy self is trying to drive and still get the shot. But anyway, this is the South Street overpass right here. I got hella crazy memories right there with my pop. I remember he used to bring me here on rollerblades, and we used to hang all around here. We used to find parking around here and just walk. That's one thing, man. He made sure I got a chance to experience the basic luxuries of life. This road right here is Delaware Avenue. This road right here holds significant value because every time we used to go to the movies, or every time we used to go to Walmart, or every time we used to go to some type of shopping center down here at South Philly, we had to take this road. So I remember being here in his passenger side, and I just remember the days of just driving, the sun shining, and hearing Jerry Rivera. Boy, he used to rock that Jerry Rivera in the system, man. And if I listen to that today, that brings back so many fond memories.
Nadie se promete más allá del tiempo. He venido para hablarte y de mis cosas contarte. Que lo que esconden tus labios quiero descubrir. Dame un beso así.
You know, it's like they say, sound next to smell is one of the most recognizable things in the human mind. My pop always been like an entrepreneur. He always had an entrepreneurial spirit. When I was born and when I was a baby, he used to just grind straight from the muscle. You know what I mean? And throughout the years of me growing up, I always just remembered him being a working figure, always being a busy bee. Even on his weekend days and the days he was off, he was always doing something. He would never sit still, he would always do something. This is the movie theater that my pop would take me to, like all the time. This is the actual theater, guys. This is the actual movie theater that Toon used to come to when he was a kid with his pop. This is probably what helped inspire me to get into the film industry also. Coming to big places like this. Let's check it out. Let me get out here so y'all can see. I'm gonna tell you how long I've been coming here. My pop brought me here at such a young age that I remember when this theater right here was one story. Yes, one story. They built that second story later on in this building's lifespan. And my pop was such a nice dude because instead of just going to watch the movie by himself with his son, he used to take so many people with us, man. And he used to pay for movie tickets for all my cousins, for friends if I brought friends. Oh man, great memories, yo. Great memories. I also got good memories here at this Burger King. Even though I'm a vegan and I no longer eat meat, I remember when I used to be a kid, my pop used to take me to the movies and we used to come here and grab some food before we went to the movies. I even remember sitting here and eating with my uncle that passed away, my pop's brother. Before we used to go to the movies, we used to sit in there, talk, chat, you know, typical family fun. Now we're about to hit Target, but before Target was here, there was a few other businesses. Bradley's. Before Bradley's, there was also Caldor. My pop used to kind of be like a shopaholic. So when he used to work and all of that, he used to make sure that every weekend we went out shopping. And this was one of the locations that we used to shop at. Like all these stores and all these business fronts, we used to go to. Look at that. The car auctions. Even the car auctions. I got memories with my pop at the car auctions. I remember when I started getting into my teen years, probably 18, 19, 20, and my pop wanted to invest some bread, and he wanted to go to auction and cop some cars. I was next to him when he was buying them cars. Like I was helping him bid, and I was, you know, giving advice on what cars we should get. Like that's some true ill-ish. Like if that ain't trill, man, I don't know what trill is. Like to be there with your pop at an auction, bidding on cars, that's so dope. Like that was a real dope memory, man. And best believe that every new car that he bought from the dealership, guess who was driving it home without a license? Yeah, I was driving them Johns home. I was like 13, 14, driving home a new 2002 in 2002. I was driving home a 2003 in 2003 with no license, thanks to my pop. It's a shame that it's such a rainy day. I had to open the window to get this shot. It was pouring. So we're pulling up. We're by the 95 exit on Oregon Avenue in South Philly. And this location holds significant value because remember I said my pop worked hard? I was telling you guys my pop worked and he did anything possible in order to make sure that I had food on the table. This is one of the locations that he used to manage and he used to run, right? I remember being probably 14, 15 years old, and every time the alarm in this building would go off, 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, my pop would get notified because he used to run the store. So he had to go all the way back over here to not only shut off the alarm, but to check the location and make sure it was safe. I used to come with him, them 3, 4 a.m. rides, all the way down here from 95, just to check on the building to make sure the building was straight. You know what, I'm gonna tell you something. If someone told me 18 years ago that I'd be driving on the same roads that I used to drive with my pop as a passenger, but without him in the car, I would have never believed you. Because that was my right-hand man, yo. There wasn't a time that he would leave the house without offering me to go and take the ride with him. It was only until I was about too cool at 15, 16, 17, wearing about too much stuff on the streets, where I used to pass out on those rides and just opt out for staying home or being on the phone talking to girls or whatnot, you know what I mean? But I think that was only typical as a teenager. But these very same roads, guys, these very same roads I'm driving, I used to drive with my man right here. All these stores wasn't even here, y'all. As you can hear, man, my voice is cracking, my niggas. My voice is cracking, my niggas. It's like a debate. Put this in the vlog or not. But that goes to show you the effect he's had on my life. That I'm here at 9:30 a.m. on a Friday, driving around in the rain instead of editing, doing what I need to do, trying to capture this footage, to capture the moment, dog. I remember I called him my nigga once in an argument and he blew up. He said, my nigga? I ain't your nigga. But dog, you don't realize you my nigga, dog. It sucks I couldn't shoot this in time to capture the moment on your birthday so you could wake up and watch this on your birthday. So when you watch this, it might not be as effective, but I need you to hear this in my voice. Thank you, man. Thank you. There ain't no thanks that's gonna show how much I appreciate you, dog. I'm gonna look back on this shit at day 365 and go, dog, what you do? You put a video and you crying on YouTube, dog. I don't even care, my nigga. I don't care. I'll rock somebody for you, dog. I don't even care. And I'm gonna stop here. Even though I'm a vegan, I gotta tell them this story. Even though I'm a vegan, I'm gonna still tell them this story, dog. Hold on, I gotta get my composure, y'all. Hey, yo, it's raining and I ain't got no jacket on. I just had to get my sniffles out. But peep game, my pop used to take me here to Home Depot. They used to make some crazy sausages outside. I think they still do make the sausages, but I don't really eat them. I also remember my pop used to manage this joint back in the 90s. He used to run that location over there, and there used to be carnivals right here. Every year there was a carnival that used to come here, and he used to always make sure that I got a chance to go to that carnival. I'm sure today's vlog's probably gonna be all over the place, but I'm gonna make sure to at least capture as much information as I can before I get my day started. It's dangerous right now. It's raining really hard, the windows are foggy, and I'm still driving. But I still want to capture the moment and show you guys what really goes on behind the scenes. Because although today would have been popping and it would have been a real good day to shoot if it wasn't raining, the rain kind of, well, the rain didn't mess up their day. You see, guys? No excuses. Make no excuses. No reason why I shouldn't be out there running to Walmart. You're not from Philly if you don't remember what used to be on that wall. I remember being a kid driving by here with my pop, and Iverson used to be painted on that wall. I remember being a kid driving by the same exact avenue before there was a casino here, and before the Revolutions bar was there, and before the trolley and all this nonsense was here. I remember driving through this block with my pop. He must have been like Miss Cleo, because this dude predicted what was gonna happen with this neighborhood. I'm telling you, my pop 15 plus years ago used to tell me when I was a kid what this neighborhood was gonna turn out to be. He always said that they were gonna come to this neighborhood and start buying out properties. He said, watch, 10, 15 years, watch, you'll see, everything's gonna be bought out, watch. And what happened? Little do you know it, 15 years later, gentrification hit, and the neighborhood has changed dramatically. Buildings that we remember driving by every day, like this whole avenue right here, that everybody, all the hippies come and hang out at, like it's a new poppin'-ish. All these buildings were abandoned. If not abandoned, they were all closed. And I remember being a kid driving by here with my pop and him telling me that. He was saying, watch this all turn out to be something. Watch it all turn out to be something. And what happened? It turned out to be something. Now this is considered, you know, the new hangout spot. Even Northern Liberties. Before it was Northern Liberties, we used to go to the neighborhood when it was just the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like there was all these little blocks that he took me to, and he used to point out buildings like, that'll be a nice building to turn it into this, or that'll be a nice building to turn it into that. And a couple years later, somebody came and bought it and turned it into something. So he was savvy in that sense too. I'm the type of person that when I drive by now and I drive by places, I kind of sound like him. I say the same thing. Like this building right here. Plenty of times we drove by here and he told me this is a great potential location to turn into something. It was abandoned and that he wanted to do something with it. He tried contacting them over a dozen times, sending them letters, calling them, and whatnot. They never wanted to give up the building. Fast forward 20 years later, take a look. Looks like it's been rehabilitated, right? And you see this park right here? I was fortunate enough to grow up in a neighborhood that had a playground like this. Not many kids get to grow up next to a playground. But he made sure when he picked a home, to pick a home that was near a playground. And for that, I'm forever grateful. This park is the park I grew up in. And of course I can go on and on about how great my pop is, but unfortunately I have to get back to editing. I haven't even started today's timeline, and I would like to get today's vlog posted in time so I can have some afternoon hours free and available so I can help my pop try to record a voiceover introduction for his YouTube channel. So please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so every time I drop a video, YouTube will notify you. Have a good day, y'all. Stay warm and stay safe.